my view is now, I wonder, Fraser, and humour me here, I wonder if a result like that on Sunday helps to simplify the situation where Barry Ferguson and his backroom team are concerned in terms of, are they candidates? Should they be considered candidates? Or should they be judged on a game-by-game basis and held as hostages to fate, hostages to fortune, whether or not the team turns up, whether they're professional enough to turn up, whether or not Butland throws one into the back of his own net? Should that be a determination for whether or not they're the right guys? So I actually think it's crystallising a little bit. And I think you either think you've seen enough to be convinced that they're the right coaching team for Rangers, or you've seen enough to think that they're not and you want somebody else. And I have to say, I think I've seen enough from this coaching team and from Barry Ferguson. I think he looks made for the job. I think you're right about the qualities and strengths of his backroom team. I'd be inclined now, and you know, I'm saying it's regardless of results. It can't be regardless of results, especially not when you've got Bilbao coming up this Thursday night. But I'm inclined more and more to think you've got to, what have you seen? Have you seen an improvement? Some will argue yes, others will argue no. But I think that Barry Ferguson and his team, they at least know what Rangers require, what is required in order to make Rangers competitive. We've talked about them as rendering themselves as an irrelevance in the domestic scene over the last while. These guys understand what it took and what was required to make them competitive previously, and I think they're trying to move the club back towards that. It's not a, you know, Rangers will look forward to this summer and American owners coming in and they'll think it's a rebuild or it's a revolution. Do you know what? It's gone past that. It's now got to the point that Rangers are a restoration job needing to happen. And if you're going to restore something, well, you need to know in your head what it is that you're trying to restore it to, what it was that it looked like before. And I think that these guys are ideally placed for that. And I think that Saturday's game there, the 2-0 for Hibs, it just underlines what a mess has been made of the squad building and how far Rangers have been allowed to drift away from the Rangers that Barry Ferguson, Neil McCann, Billy Dodds and Alan McGregor remember. Yeah. So that's the way that I'm starting to look at it. Funny that, isn't it? You look at that result, dreadful result. That's 5 home games in the bounce. But I wonder if it might just make the issue less grey, more black and white.
It's an interesting take. It's to lose his first 3 games at Ibrox. I struggle to see him coming back for that. You're totally right. What's going on in Barry Ferguson's head is something completely different to what is going on in the park. Mm-hmm. You're totally right. He knows what needs to happen. He knows what should be happening. It just doesn't seem to be getting through to these players, and that's not all his fault. He's been dealt this hand. He's been dealt these players. I go back to it. They're bang average. I won't hear anything else about Rangers. They're bang average.
Right.
That Hibs team that went through yesterday know what they're doing. They're a better team. From back to front, they are a better team. Clinical up top when the chances came along. And defend. I loved watching them defend. They went to Ibrox yesterday and enjoyed defending their box. I love watching that. They were so confident in what they were doing. Rocky Bashiri, who couldn't get a game at the start of the season, throwing himself in front of everything. Jack Iredale, again, who came in at the start of this 16-game unbeaten run. Fantastic. So
I like him, by the way. I think he's a cracker.
Brilliant. He's been great signing for Bolton. Brilliant signing. But no, to go back to it, I just think Barry Ferguson knows exactly what's needed. You're right. And he talks about standards. Whether whoever comes in needs to sign players that are capable of taking that onto the pitch, because at the moment you've maybe got 3 or 4 that would do better surrounded by better players, but right now nobody's doing it for them. See, if you based it on the Celtic and Fenerbahce away, you'd give them the job in a heartbeat, because those 2 performances were incredible. The other 5, yesterday, they fell behind because of Jack Butland Howler. That's not Barry Ferguson's fault. But then they couldn't, and then they had 3 chances to get back into through Dessers, blew them all. Again, can't really blame the manager unless he takes Dessers out of the team and starts Igamani or perhaps Danilo through the middle. But in the second half, they had nothing. They came back out for half time, and Barry Ferguson referred to it after the match. They had nothing. if anything, Hibs could have stretched their lead further than just 2-0.